Tonight, tragedy strikes again in Lagos as another building collapse in Lagos Island claims 2 lives, 3 weeks after a similar incident claimed 10 lives in the Ibutemeta area of the state. Chairman of Kefi local government area of Nasarawa State, Mohammed Baba Shehu, and his driver kidnapped while the security detail is murdered by gunmen. President Muhammadu Buhari returns to Nigeria after a 2-day condolence visit to the President of the United Arab Emirates. And Australia elects its first Labour government in almost a decade as new Prime Minister-elect Anthony Albanese vows to unite the country after taking power.
On business news tonight, Central Bank of Nigeria, Debunks, claims that it plans to withdraw Naira notes from circulation.
On sports news tonight, Olympique Lyon set a new record of 8 UEFA Women's Champions League triumphs after beating Barcelona 3-1 in the final in Turin.
We begin from Lagos Island, the center of commerce in the state, where tragedy struck earlier today after a 3-story building under construction collapsed and has so far claimed 2 lives. According to officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, the building located on Freeman Street gave way during the heavy downpour. Head of NEMA's Lagos Territorial Office, Ibrahim Farinloye, however, says 3 persons were rescued alive by officials of the National and Lagos State Emergency Management Agencies, as well as firefighters who are leading the rescue operation. The collapse comes barely 3 weeks after a similar incident in the Ibutemeta area of Lagos, which claimed 10 lives. And in Kogi State, efforts by the state government to give the state capital, Lokoja, a facelift are being intensified as its Ministry of Environment is embarking on a demolition exercise of all illegal structures. The State Commissioner for Environment, Honorable Victor Mofai, says the illegal occupants were served notices of eviction before the demolition. He explains that the exercise is in line with Governor Yaya Bello's urban renewal plan to safeguard the safety of lives and property.
Like an angry wind, the bulldozers swiftly crush the structures, while some occupants hurriedly save what they can of their belongings. The officials are on a mission to enforce the state government's directive on the demolition of illegal structures built on floodplains, under electric power lines, and those close to the road along the Lokoja-Abuja highway. The exercise is supervised by a combined team of the Kogi State Town Planning and Development Board, the Bureau of Lands and Urban Development, and the State Ministry of Environment. As the exercise progresses, some of the occupants attempt to resist the enforcers from demolishing their structures, but they had a greater force to contend with. Consequently, there are arguments on the legality of the directive.
In the first place, does he have letter of allocation to be here?
You know it's wrong. He has even testified that during Ibro was asked to leave and he left. And later you came back.
Have the letter.
So you are morally you have no justification.
My pleading now is that if such an exercise will come up, let there be an adequate information. Somebody like me, I don't aware of it. I am telling you the truth, sir. I don't aware of this.
The State Commissioner for Environment claims the ministry had given notice of eviction 3 months earlier, but they refused to comply. While the General Manager, Bureau of Lands and Urban Development, explains that the structures built close to the roads are obstructing vehicular movement.
By the time you see them by the roadside selling, it is a big risk. You see vehicular movement, you see trailers, big lorries, and yet you still see them just beside the road. That's why we are here to ensure that we move them away from the setbacks.
This is long overdue. We have tried to talk to all these traders across the major town in the state. that they cannot continue occupying the road setback. One, they are putting their life at risk. At the same time, they have been causing a lot of road obstruction. In most time, we have serious hold-up. People will not be able to make use of the road. That's why you see us on the road. What we want to do now, we want to take it from here down to Zone 8 and make sure that all those that have occupied the road setback illegally, we take them off the road.
Occupants of these illegal structures are mostly traders who have an offer of an alternative location provided by the state government for them to continue to ply their trade.
To crime now. The chairman of Kefi local government area of Nasarawa State, Muhammad Baba Shehu, and his driver have been abducted, while his security detail, Al-Hassan Habib, was killed by gunmen. The spokesperson of the State Police Command, Rahman Nansil, who confirmed the incident to Channels Television, says the attackers laid siege to the Akwanga Kefi Road on Friday night, while Mr. Shehu and his entourage were on their way to Lafia from Kefi. He added that search teams have been deployed to the area, comprising of a joint team of mobile police personnel, conventional police officers, vigilante hunters, and the military. And staying with crime, police in Katsina State have confirmed the death of a car snatcher said to be a member of a notorious syndicate of armed robbers and car snatchers who robbed a motor vehicle at gunpoint in case of jungle justice by residents of the area. The resident of Charanchi local government was said to have trailed the suspect while taking the vehicle outside the state. When the police arrived at the scene, it was too late to save the suspect, but the police were able to recover some items from the stolen car. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has condemned the crisis in Waji local government area, which was triggered by an alleged blasphemy message shared on social media. Governor Mohammed, who visited Waji alongside the Commissioner of Police, urged the people to exercise restraint as he ordered investigation into the incident. Also, the Commissioner of Police is warning the people to guard against provocation, saying no one has the right to take the laws into their hands. Irish youths had earlier burnt houses, shops, and injured a pastor and several others after a blasphemous message was said to have been circulated by a lady in reaction to the gruesome murder of Deborah Samuel in Sokoto State.
Technology is good, but sometimes it can be used against us. Even the girl who started this, she borrowed this in Ghana. The security has briefed me. So you can see, but certainly a district head, two wrongs cannot make a right. We should restrain ourselves. This is more dangerous than political upheavals. And I, for one, will not tolerate this. I may be carrying the carrot all the time, but I'm the Kaurambochi that will carry the stick. I will carry the stick. I didn't sleep yesterday. My mind was here. Thank God no life was lost. All this property is from God. We will set up an investigation to find out the culprits, and we will bring some circle and solace to those who lost. But please do a favor to somebody who loves you, somebody who likes you, somebody who knows that you are there, somebody who respects you, and that's my humble Sir Bala Mohammed. Don't reignite this issue again.
Our task is to ensure that there is peace. But to make sure that there is peace, sometimes we have to step on toes, and we will step on toes. Anybody that causes or intends to cause anything that will bring about disunity and lack of peace in our midst, we will definitely deal with such individual. And therefore, we will leave no stone unturned with regards to that. So please be forewarned. What has happened. But we have put measures in place to fish out who are those people responsible for this thing.
Staying with security, troops of 34 Brigade of the Nigerian Army, working with operatives of the Department of State Service, have destroyed a training camp of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra in Olu local government area of Imo State. The troops dislodged the camp after an exchange of gunfire, killing 2 members of the group, said to be on the wanted list of security agencies for terrorizing residents in the general area of Olu, Osu, and Njaba. The troops equally destroyed the training shed and other facilities used by the outlawed group, including a shrine which the members reportedly used for spiritual falsification. A local factory for fabricated weapons was also discovered and destroyed. Meanwhile, troops of the multinational Joint Task Force and Operation Hadinkai have cleared 10 Boko Haram settlements in the northeast and Lake Chad Basin in an operation which commenced in Mongono on May the 17th. The Nigerian and Nigerian troops decimated the settlements at Grada, Kwatemeshai, Debunks, Tumbumbuhari, and Tumbunabuja, among others. According to a statement by the spokesman of the multinational Joint Task Force, Lieutenant Colonel Kamaruddin Adegoke, the terrorists ran away from the cleared enclaves in a bid to avoid being killed by the troops, as no contact was made with the criminals during the operation. Similarly, troops of Task Force Malam Fatori carried out clearance operations to the general areas of Alijimari, Dogonchuku, and Tumburago. And in a separate operation, a 12-year-old Fulani girl who claimed to be from Dargi Kesa village in Abadam local government area was found by the task force team wandering in the bush. The spokesperson says she'll be handed over to the relevant authority for further action after necessary profiling. And to politics now. Ahead of the primaries of the All Progressives Congress, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has been meeting with delegates of the party behind closed doors in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital. And after the meeting that lasted for over an hour, the Vice President told journalists that he was in Gusau to meet the delegates of the party and inform them about his presidential ambition.
Preparatory to the primaries of our party, which will take place at the end of the month. So I'm here to talk to members of our party. We've had very fruitful discussions on wide-ranging issues concerning the economy of the country, concerning the future, and the various things that we'd like to see, and so many other matters of concern for the party and for the country.
In part 2, after the break, more politics as Governor Nyesom Wike promises to defend the interest of Igbos if elected president as he meets with PDP delegates in Abia State. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, live on Channels Television Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Tragedy strikes again in Lagos as another building collapse in Lagos Island claims 2 lives, 3 weeks after a similar incident claimed 10 lives in the Ebute Metta area of the state. Chairman of Kefi local government area of Nasarawa State, Mohammed Shehu, and driver kidnapped while a security detail was murdered by gunmen. President Buhari returns to Nigeria after a 2-day condolence visit to the President of the United Arab Emirates. And Australia elects its first Labour government in almost a decade as new Prime Minister-elect Anthony Albanese vows to unite the country after taking power. River State Governor and presidential hopeful under the opposition People's Democratic Party, Nyesom Wike, has made a commitment to defend the interests of the Igbos, saying he is the only presidential aspirant of the PDP with the courage to do so. Governor Wike stated this in Abia State while addressing the delegates of the party at the banquet hall of the government house in Umuahia, where he says he was ending his campaign ahead of the primary.
In continuation of his campaign to win the PDP presidential ticket, River State Governor Nyesom Wike leads his team to a meeting with Abia State delegates. Governor Wike and his team are received by Governor Okeze Pazu at the Executive Council chambers of the Government House.
I'm coming to run for president is not just a thought of my own. A lot of my good brothers and friends put our heads together, and they said, look, it's important that you should lead this battle to rescue Nigeria.
Wike has paid his dues. He has fought for our party. He has stood for this party. He has never changed party. And he will not change party despite the outcome of the convention whenever it comes. He has a clear head and vision about what he wants to do for our country. And if we want somebody who can take very, very tough decisions, Wike can take tough decisions.
The meeting continues at the banquet hall of the Abia State Government House, where Governor Wike addresses PDP delegates with a charge to choose an aspirant like him who has the courage to defend their interests.
I say so with all amount of seriousness. And I challenge anybody who is from the southern part of Nigeria, who from the south-south, who from the southeast. Take all of us. Look, let us know who can even defend the interests of Indibo.
Some of those in attendance speak of their admiration for the PDP aspirant and what he stands for.
We have listened to all the other candidates, and we see that even as they mouth the things that they say, we can poke holes in the things that they say. But when a man says to you that he has stood by this party through thick and thin, it is a fact that is incontrovertible.
This is the first invitation I'm giving to the delegates, and all of them appeared without giving an excuse. Before now, some of them living at Abuja will call me and say they will not be able to make it. But today, I don't know the magic or what they heard about our guests that made everybody to be here.
For a former governor of Abia State, Governor Wike's development strides in River State shows what he can do if elected as president.
Your character has been constant. I can testify to that. You are a performer. In fact, you don't need to advertise yourself. What you do will always advertise you.
As he concludes his campaign for delegates' votes, Governor Nyesom Wike is urging the People's Democratic Party to consider character and charisma as the core values that the party's presidential candidate must possess, something he says stands him out from the rest.
And over in the APC, another presidential hopeful, Chibuike Amechi, has appealed to the delegates of the party to look into his political antecedents and cast their vote for him at the forthcoming convention of the party. Mr. Amechi made the appeal while addressing delegates of the party in Jigawa and Bauchi states.
Presidential aspirants are rounding off their nationwide consultations to solicit delegate support across the country as party primaries draw closer. In Jigawa State, presidential aspirant of the All Progressives Congress, Chibuike Amechi, is meeting with APC delegates at the state secretariat in Dutse, the state capital, with the state governor, Badru Abubakar, in attendance. Addressing the delegates, Mr. Amechi says he has full understanding of the challenges facing Nigeria and is ready to tackle them head-on if he is voted as president.
I know the challenges of Nigeria. I am the only aspirant on stage that has governed the state where there is insecurity. That's why I came with Lieutenant General Buratai, who was then the brigade commander of the brigade in Port Harcourt. He was those that fought this war. We fought the criminals and chased them away. He was leading the army, and I think even leading the military, because there was always a security council meeting. When they are finished meeting with me, bloody civilian, they will go behind me and meet as military officers to plan how to confront these criminals. That's why I came with the Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba. Suleiman Abba was then Commissioner of Police in River State, to show you that we understood what it is to fight crime, and we fought crime until we overran them.
Governor Abubakar assures the gathering that there is no division in the party, calling on the delegates to put himself and Mr. Amechi into consideration.
We belong to one father, and we respect one father. And for sure, we will move on the same direction. So, Jigawa delegates, when you think of me, think of Amechi too. Like I tell you, there is no contest. At that day, either I run or he runs. But the two of us But the two of us will never run.
The team now moves to Bauchi State with a stop at the Emir's Palace, where the presidential aspirant seeks the monarch's support and royal blessings. While addressing the delegates, the state APC chairman calls for unity within the party.
Delegates, as I told you, we don't have any bias against any aspirant. Anybody who come here came for our party, we want the party to from great to greater. So we don't want anybody to be forced by anybody.
How will you have employment? Those of you who produce agricultural produce, those of you who have businesses are able to move your good from one point to the other. Let me even tell you, it's not only about going to Port Harcourt where there is a seaport. The rail coming from Kapachan, thank you. It connects you to Kaduna, therefore connecting you to Kano, connecting you to Abuja, and connecting you to Lagos. So you can choose so many places to take your goods at a cheap cost because the federal government is subsidizing it.
Mr. Chibuike Amechi believes he has what it takes to clinch the APC presidential ticket and is counting on the delegates to put their trust in him.
And still on presidential primaries, former Lagos State Governor, who's also eyeing the party's presidential ticket, Bola Tinubu, today paid a visit to the Oba of Benin, Baiware II. Senator Tinubu told the Oba that he's a man with the will and experience to turn Nigeria around for good, highlighting his exploits in Lagos as a governor, as well as his international connections. The Oba was glad to receive him, saying the palace is interested in anyone who wants to become the president, and would offer prayers of support as the palace is non-partisan.
No.
When I took over, Lagos was just generating a percent of 600 million Naira a month internally generated revenue. Today, Lagos State is generating over 50 billion Naira every month. Nigeria needs transformation leadership, needs great reforms where everybody will participate in the God-given prosperity and charge the assets of this country are being exposed widely and are being well trained. Not just a local board, I'm highly internationally connected and well known.
Our prayers have always been for the country, for the leaders, to take the country to greater heights. I always say in such visits, I always remind the politicians that Benin throne as established by our ancestors, by forefathers, that the Benin throne, as you all know, is non-partisan. However, we are always interested in the leaders that have to lead the country.
And it's clearly a hot race in the last week before the primaries. As yet another aspirant, Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State, has been receiving the support of the youths under the umbrella of Rescue Nigeria Mission. The group believes Governor Bello has demonstrated capacity in leadership, and he is the right person to become Nigeria's president come 2023. Youths across the country made a huge statement on their steadfast support for the candidacy of Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State in the 2023 presidential election. There was a simultaneous gathering of massive crowds of youths across the 6 geopolitical zones of the Federation tagged Nationwide Capacity Rally for Yahaya Bello. Participants chanted solidarity songs while carrying various placards in support of Governor Bello from as early as 9 a.m. on Saturday in all the locations. The youths say they have mobilized over 16 million active holders of permanent voter cards to actualize Yahaya Bello presidency come 2023. The national coordinator of the groups under the umbrella of Rescue Nigeria Mission, Abdullahi Damit, who was present at the FCT rally, said the youths were already thinking beyond the primary elections of the major parties in their quest for Yahya Bello as a president of Nigeria after President Muhammadu Buhari.
We are actually very hopeful. We have all the support of all the parties stalwarts. For those who are going around sharing money, they are doing that at their own risk. All Nigerian youth have shown clearly this event is happening across the entire system of the federation, so he stands a better chance to win the primaries at whatever cost.
In Kwara State, youths in their hundreds held solidarity rally in support of the presidential ambition of Governor Bello.
Let youth come out. That's why we youth stand up, that yes, we must support this man.
Also in Yobe State, the youths who were carrying placards and different inscriptions asked all youths to vote for Yahya Bello ahead of the APC presidential primaries.
It is our honor and privilege to march in thousands in order to show our solidarity, support from the state to Governor Yahya Bello 2023 aspiration.
It's the same in Zamfara State, where the youths say Governor Bello remains the best man for the job.
It is a time for youth for youth, and youth only. And Yahya Bello deserves a very high credit to lead the country for the betterment of Nigeria.
The rally is said to have held simultaneously in other states like Sokoto, Kebbi, Gombe, Kogi, and 11 others. Meanwhile, the national woman leader of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC is raising concern over what she describes as immense pressure on female aspirants to step down for their male counterparts. The woman leader told Channels Television in Abuja that the pressure on these female aspirants is getting more intense as the date for the party's primaries get closer. She appeals to the National Working Committee and the leadership of the party at the state levels to give the women a chance.
We have heard from the over 600 aspirants who are females that have picked up the forms that is becoming more and more difficult by the day as they head towards the primaries. What are the issues? First, most women are not allowed to go to the field and run. They've been told by key stakeholders across the states that they should step down. They are not able to win elections. Different issues coming up. You're a woman, people will not vote for you because you're a woman. We cannot give consideration. We want to win elections. Different things are being said, which is completely unacceptable. We want to plead and call on all our stakeholders across the country. It's time to stand up for women. As a party, APC, we're passionate about mainstreaming women. We're passionate about ensuring that women are not just aspirants, but they become elected candidates to run on the platform of APC. Most of the women which are being asked to step down or step aside or not participate in the primary elections are women that are well loved. They are women that are grassroots. They are women that are on ground. And if they are allowed to go into the general elections, they will win these elections comfortably well.
And now to electricity supply. Dora, the country home of President Muhammadu Buhari, as well as Dusima, Kankara and Malumfashi, all in Katsina State, are set to experience improved electricity supply. The managing director of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, Mr. Sule Abdulaziz, disclosed this while inspecting the Katsina substation project. Mr. Abdulaziz explains that the imminent improvement followed federal government's plans to deliver 2 units of 330 kVA power transmission substations in Katsina and Kano states, along with transmission lines.
What delayed us in this job was because of the transmission line that is coming from Kano. We had some issues with Wayleaf, which we liaised with the Kano State government, and Kano State government have done their best. They are assisting us in paying the compensation. TCN is going to be part of it, and Kano State government is paying also some part of the compensation. Also, the land, which we have not paid, Kano State government is going to give them an alternative land. So by the time this one is settled, the transmission contractor will be able to commence his work, and he will soon finish and will be able to commission this substation. We have been on this project for long. But you see, the last administration, they were not funding this project. But since this administration came, we have been getting money every year from the national budget, and we are doing it. So we are trying to finish it within 1 year. We have been on it, not that we have left it. By the time we finish this substation, the power in Katsina is going to be improved. It is from this substation we are going to supply the Daura substation, Kulpi substation, Dusama, Kankara, and Malampashi. So it is a very huge investment, and we are willing. We want to make sure that we finish this substation within the remaining 1 year, which this administration has.
Commercial activities are fast picking up at the remodeled Shasha Farmers Market in Oyo State after Governor Seyi Makinde commissioned the hub located in Akinyele local government area of the state. The market, which now wears a new look, comprises 200 lock-up shops and 84 open shops with facilities including trailer and car parks. Addressing the Shasha community and environs, Governor Makinde calls for unity amongst residents of the state, regardless of ethnic or religious affiliations. Our correspondent, Bukola Rewo, has a report.
It's indeed a day of joy for residents and traders within the Shasha community in Akinyele local government area of Oyo State, as the market now wears a new look. In December 2020, crisis had erupted in the market, and by early 2021, it was in ruins. Governor Makinde promised to rebuild the market and make it better. And now, just a few meters across the remains of the old market, an ultra-modern farmers market sits with more shops and amenities.
Government, Reverend S.P. Ajasa,
$200 lock-up shops, 84 units of open shops, 8 units of toilets for men and women, office units, and then trailer parks and car parks.
The new market symbolizes unity against all the odds.
Want this new structure, this ultra-modern farmers market, to become a symbol of unity and oneness. Let it be a reminder that we are one.
This landmark of hope would in no small measure have an impact on the development of Akinyele local government and its environs.
It's one of the tangible projects that the governor give to the people of Akinyele local government. We sincerely appreciate His Excellency for this laudable project.
Currently, the remodeled Shasha market is already busy with trading activities, even as traders await its allocation.
As this market born, we never expected to rebuild it back for us. But within a short period of time now, he did it for us, that we appreciate it.
With the ultra-modern structure in place now, these modern red roofs, sitting in the heart of decades of history of commerce and brotherliness, would hopefully reignite peaceful and profitable trading activities across the state and beyond. Bukola Oriowo, Channel Television News.
The annual Vanguard Personality Awards is marking 10 years of celebrating excellence, national pride, and service to humanity in business, politics, and other facets of human endeavor. The event, which held in Lagos State, had in attendance men and women drawn from different fields to honor those who have distinguished themselves as achievers.
A night of glamour, splendor, and honor as governors, business moguls, politicians, and professionals from various walks of life convene at the Eco Hotel and Suites in Lagos for the 10th edition of the Vanguard Personality of the Year Award 2021. It's a prestigious award that celebrates Nigeria's finest individuals for their societal impact, excellence, and outstanding achievements across different sectors and industries. The night starts with an opening remark from the General Manager and Editor-in-Chief of Vanguard Media Limited, Mr. Gbenga Adefaye.
10 years ago, we started this award ceremony with just a handful of people and limited resources. But from inception to date, it is evident that the Vanguard Personality of the Year award has covered a long and evolutionary journey. We have started with big dreams, hope, and immense enthusiasm. Today, we are celebrating a decade of recognition without blemish.
Former Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Obong Victor Atta, who is the chairman of the occasion, commends Vanguard for its contribution to society through this medium.
This award is a benefit to the society. It's a great benefit to the society, and I congratulate the Vanguard organization for keeping it up. I pray that, as you have hoped, the next 10 years will see us at greater heights.
Lifetime Achievement of the Year.
And the awards start rolling in, beginning with the Lifetime Achievers category, which recognizes notable personalities like philanthropists and businessman Aminu Dantata, legal icon Afe Babalola, former Foreign Affairs Minister Major General Ike Nwachukwu, Archbishop Margaret Dahosa, veteran actor Olu Jacobs, among others.
And now to present the awards, please welcome to the stage Senator Bode Olajumoke. A round of applause, please.
Other categories include Businessman of the Year, Foreign Investor of the Year, Woman Entrepreneur of the Year, Private Sector Award, among others. Governors of Osun, Ogun, Edo, Nasarawa State, Gombe State receive Governors of the Year awards for their impact in their respective states.
The Vanguard Personality of the Year 2022, and what is special about this award is that we're celebrating two individuals of excellence.
And to round off the event, the President of the AFDB, Akinwumi Adesina, and Group Managing Director of NNPC, Mele Kyari, are recognized as individuals of excellence and Vanguard Personalities of the Year. This year's edition is a milestone as it marks the beginning of a new decade, and the organizers look forward to achieving new benchmarks that will continue to be of immense benefit to the society.
President Muhammadu Buhari is back in the country after a two-day condolence visit to Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. The president, who left Abu Dhabi at about 1:30 p.m., landed at the presidential wing of Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, around 4 p.m., alongside members of a delegation. In Abu Dhabi, he condoled with the new president of the UAE, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, over the passing of the former leader, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. On Friday, he joined the Jummah prayers for the repose of the soul of the late leader. He also met with the new president, where he expressed hopes that both countries will strengthen existing ties in the areas of sustainable security, counter-terrorism, trade, and investment. Some of those who accompanied the president on the trip are the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Zubairu Dada, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Bello, and the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika. Let's now bring you the latest business stories. Here's Anne Oaudu.
Thanks a lot, Kayode. Let's begin with the Central Bank of Nigeria's reaction to the news making the rounds that the Apex Bank plans to replace the Naira notes in circulation with the digital currency, Naira. The CBN's Director of Corporate Communications, Mr. Osita Wanisobi, said that he has refuted the claim, saying the Apex Bank has no such plan and calls on Nigerians to disregard it. According to him, the digital version of the Naira is meant to complement the existing currency notes, and it will circulate simultaneously as means of exchange and store of value. He also adds that the e-Naira ensures greater access to financial services, asking members of the public and business owners to embrace it. Meanwhile, the Central Bank Monetary Policy Committee is set to hold its third meeting for this year. This will happen next week on May the 23rd and the 24th. The two-day rates decision meeting is coming just 1 week after the latest inflation report released by the National Bureau of Statistics indicated that the country's headline inflation rate rose further to an 8-month high, coming from 16.82% year-on-year last month. Analysts expect the issue of rising inflation to be top on the agenda at the upcoming MPC meeting, especially as the trend is projected to continue in the coming months due to the impact of elevated global emergency prices, rising food and commodity prices. Telecoms giant MTN Nigeria has formally commenced operations for its fintech subsidiary, Momo Payment Service Bank Limited, marking a key milestone in delivering the company's Ambition 2025 strategic priorities. This formal kickoff follows the final approval granted by the Central Bank of Nigeria after a successful pilot carried out on May the 16th this year. The launch date also commemorates the start of MTN Nigeria's GSM operations on May the 16th. That was in 2001. Its listing by introduction on the Nigerian Exchange Limited on May the 16th, 2019. And Momo Wallets holds lots of benefits for users in the future, as it will enable account holders receive inbound remittance from any country in the world. This is an important feature, giving Nigeria's ranking as the destination for the highest remittance inflow in sub-Saharan Africa. According to the CEO of MTN Nigeria, Mr. Carl Toriola, this is an important milestone for MTN Nigeria in their mission to support the delivery of financial services to everyone in the country. Trading activity at the FMDQ exchange was mostly negative this week, as the total turnover of transactions carried out at the FX towards future markets fell by 28.59% to $674.06 million as at May the 20th. A further analysis of trading results show that the total value of transactions at the forex spot markets dropped by 22.88% to $496.9 million, while the FX derivatives market turnover fell by 40.87% to $177.16 million. Also, the Naira depreciated slightly by 0.02% to 417 Naira 14 kobo. That's against the dollar at the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange window of the forex market, and in contrast to 417 Naira 6 kobo that was recorded last week. And that's business news for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. It's back to you, Kayode.
Thanks a lot, Anne. On the foreign scene, Anthony Albanese's opposition Labour Party has won Australia's election, but with votes still being counted, it remains to be seen if it will achieve a parliamentary majority. Prime Minister Scott Morrison conceded defeat late on Saturday, even when vote counting was incomplete. Mr. Morrison also announced he will stand down as leader of the Liberal Party. The World Health Organization says around 80 confirmed monkeypox cases and over 50 others pending investigations have been reported in 11 countries across the world. So far, infections have been confirmed in 9 European countries, as well as the US, Canada, and Australia. The WHO said in a statement that the recent outbreaks are atypical, as they are occurring in non-endemic countries, and that it was working with the affected countries and others to expand disease surveillance to find and support people who may be affected.
Because the virus has found a way that it can be amplified in transmission. Because highly promiscuous groups or groups that are in close physical contact together have a greater chance of spreading the virus from one to another, and that causes an amplification of transmission. So what's important now is that everybody understand how this is transmitted and that they can prevent themselves from being transmitted if they avoid physical contact with people who may have those sores that are weeping out virus.
The war in Ukraine can only be resolved through diplomacy, and that's according to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Speaking on Ukrainian television, he suggested that his country could be victorious on the battlefield, but that things could only come to a conclusive halt at the negotiating table. Let's bring you news just in. In Anambra State, the lawmaker representing Governor Soludo's constituency in the State House of Assembly, Okechukwu Okoye, who was kidnapped last week, has been beheaded by gunmen. The spokesman of the Anambra State Police Command, Mr. Tochukwu Ikenga, confirmed that Mr. Okoye and the other abducted person have been killed by the abductors. According to Mr. Ikenga, the police is waiting for the family members to identify the body before releasing a full statement on the sad development. Well, let's switch gears now and bring you sports news with Ayatunde Balogun.
Many thanks, Kai. The Olympic Lyon's ferocious first-half display has led them to a 3-1 victory over Barcelona, setting a new record of 8 UEFA Women's Champions League triumphs in the process. First-half goals from Amandine Henry, Ada Hegberg and Katarina Macario were enough to take the title from Barcelona women, who have been tipped to end Olympic Lyon's dominance of the women's game in Europe. Ballon d'Or holder Alexia Putellas scored Barca's only goal with a low finish, her 33rd goal of the season and 11th of the Champions League campaign. Paris Saint-Germain have confirmed that Kylian Mbappe has signed a contract extension that will keep him at the club until 2025. Mbappe and club president Nasser El Khelaifi posed holding a Mbappe 2025 PSG shirt before the last game of the season against Metz at the Parc des Princes. Mbappe, whose current contract expires on June the 30th, had been widely tipped to join Spanish champions Real Madrid. The France forward joined PSG from AS Monaco in 2017 in a deal worth 180 million euros. The latest deal, which would see the 23-year-old earn up to £4 million a month, making him the highest paid player in the world. The Spanish La Liga has complained bitterly that the massive financial resources of PSG's Qatari owners had proved decisive in persuading Kylian Mbappe to stay in France. The La Liga announced it is launching an official complaint about PSG's actions to UEFA, the French administrative and fiscal authorities, and the European Union. The president of the La Liga, Javier Tebas, accused PSG of attacking the stability of football with the eye-watering new deal for the France forward. Manchester City midfielder Kevin De Bruyne has been named the Premier League's Player of the Season. De Bruyne has notched a career best 15 league goals and 13 assists to secure the fans award for the second time, after also winning it in the 2019-2020 season. De Bruyne finished above Man City teammate João Cancelo, Liverpool duo Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah, West Ham's Jarrod Bowen, Arsenal's Bukayo Saka, Southampton's James Ward-Prowse and Tottenham's Son Heung-min. The Belgian becomes the 4th player to win the award twice after Thierry Henry, Cristiano Ronaldo and Nemanja Vidic. That's sports news. I'm Ayatunde Balogun. It's back to you, Cardi.
Well, thank you, Ayatunde. And the main news again. Tragedy struck again in Lagos as another building collapsed in Lagos Island, claiming 2 lives. The latest incident comes barely 3 weeks after another building collapse in the Ebute Metta area of the state claimed 10 lives. We also told you that the president is back in the country after a 2-day condolence visit to the president of the United Arab Emirates. And Australia has elected its first Labour government in almost a decade as new Prime Minister-elect Anthony Albanese vows to unite the country after taking power. And that's the news at 10, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm Kayode Okinkulu. Good night.